So we got this little MS260 I borrowed the other day. From the owner. And we're going to install a bigger set of dogs on here for her. I was using it and this little factory one just doesn't cut it where we're at, the type of bark we have, so I'm going to put a bigger set on for her. And although I wasn't falling with it, we were just bucking up logs the other day, I realized how inadequate this dog is on it. I ordered this a while ago. They've been running it, so it's kind of fun to get saws back that you've worked on and run them yourself. So we did that, but anyways, we're gonna set her up with a new set of felling dogs. Well, because we can. I think they'll appreciate it. And I cannot comment. I'll put a link to them in the description. I can't comment as to their durability or how they'll work because I haven't used them myself, but they feel of decent quality. Sent us aftermarket hardware, but I think we're just going to reuse the factory stuff because why wouldn't you, right? Oh, that's looking better already. And the other thing that comes along with this is that this saw is running a 24-inch Stihl lightweight bar on it, so it's a little bit nose heavy when it's sitting on its own. And with these small dogs on there, it would always want to roll forward and have the tip in the dirt. So it's not bad if you remember to set the chain brake, but if you don't set it down and the thing rolls forward, then you're dealing with your chain idling along in the dirt. So kind of a added bonus, but more than anything, that little dog just won't sink into the bark we have here. And sometimes these little saws are actually kind of nice for falling smaller trees. You know, 24-inch bar, even with these, it'll get a 18-inch to 2-foot tree fairly comfortably. So kind of nice to have something that you can actually use. And I'll try and get some close-ups for you here in just a second, but these are pretty good on the top, but there's just the tiniest little bit right there at the bottom. This casting, it's cast into the cover. I don't know if that's showing up for you or not. It's cast into the cover, this little recess, and this just barely hits that corner. It wants to hold it off, so we might go take a little material off of this just to get it to fit right in that area right down there. It's just barely anything. So okay, so I went in and just barely relieved that little corner right there, just a touch on the cover. Probably do it on this too if you'd rather not do the cover, but anyways, fits on there just perfect now. So okay, with nice little lock nuts. guess that would be one fitment issue maybe, is just that little corner right there. I mean, it's pretty easily remedied, and it might just be this one that came off the line this way didn't fit. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think they're but that'll be better. So other than that one little issue, everything lines up nice. They all look good. That'll be much better for her, I think. And we might as well clean this bar out while we're here. It's a nice bright sunny day out, so we're working out here on the tailgate where we can get some sun on the old skin. Feels pretty good. Vitamin D. It's been raining here as per usual, so it's always good to get out and get a little sun on the face. Nice shoes, kid. Ouch.
We're going on to the trampoline.
You're going on the trampoline?
Yeah, do you know what extension cord is?
Yeah, what do you need an extension cord for?
We have the trampoline on and we want to put the fan under the trampoline.
Oh, let me finish this and I'll come help you out. Okay? I don't know where one's at right off the top of my head, Arden, but I'll find one for you real shortly, okay?
Found two.
Is one of them yellow?
Yep.
Can you get it easy enough?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and take it if you want to.
Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome, buddy. Okay, so we got those larger dogs on there, and you can see, I mean, this isn't why I did it, it's just an added bonus. That doesn't want to tip down and hit anymore. It rests on those lower spikes. Got everything there, son? So the other thing I get questions about all the time on these, all kinds of messages, all kinds of, you know, emails and stuff asking about the 3/4 wrap on these 026 and 260 platform. And the factory 3/4 wrap bars are really hard to find, at least for me anyways, in the location where I'm at. So I'm not really happy about it, but I end up, the only option for me is buying these aftermarket ones, Chinese made from like Holtz Forma and stuff. I prefer not to, but the other options just aren't available really. It's hard, like I said, it's next to impossible to find a 3/4 wrap in my area, factory one anyway. So this is the other option, and it is what it is. The pros for adding this is that it does give you a 3/4 wrap, something on this side, and people may say, oh, you know, you don't need it, it doesn't matter, but once you are accustomed to running a saw with that on it, for felling it's a major advantage, and even for limbing sometimes it's nice to grab that side to reach over and do stuff. So for me, I'm used to them, and when I don't have one, it feels like I'm lost without it. So that's the one pro to this. The other pro, I guess, would be cost. I think these aftermarket ones are like 40 bucks, you know, dirt cheap. So they're cheap and they give you a 3/4 wrap. I'd rather something made in the USA, but there's nothing that exists right now in my region, so that's the way it is. The cons, they are super lightweight and thin material compared to what the factory ones are. I don't know what the reality of real world application is and how they would hold up on a 70cc saw. They are wrap handle off of, I guess that brings me to this. this handle is off of a 044, 046, 440, 460 platform. So I don't know what the reality of it is in terms of longevity and the abuse it would take with a heavier saw hanging off of it. They're very thin tubing. They hold up just fine under everyday conditions with this light saw body on it. I've had one on my 026 now for, I don't know, a few years, and it gets used pretty heavily, and I've not noticed any adverse anything. It's held up well. It's been smacked around a little bit, and I use it fairly regularly, and it holds up fine. I don't know how it would do on a heavier saw, but the other kind of issue, I don't know if you'd call it an issue, but the handle is clearly meant for a larger saw, right? So this saw is a nice light little package. It's kind of their claim to fame, right? Good power and a light little package. Well, you add this 3/4 wrap handle off this bigger saw body, and now you end up with all kinds of space in here that's not needed, right? It makes the saw that much bigger even though it's not. So the 3/4 side actually is pretty nice, like about where I would like it if I made my own. The reality of it is it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make it feel that much more cumbersome in the hand. I don't notice. It's not like, oh gosh, I feel like I got this big clunky bar on there. It just feels natural. But I also run bigger saws than I'm used to having bigger bars on. Point to that, it's fine, but it does add some overall size to the power head, if you will. So ultimately I'd like to make a custom one out of a standard half wrap bar, put my own 3/4 on that side, because it would stay a lot nicer and tighter to the saw, but it works. So anywho, 3/4 wrap, cheap. On the pro side, cons are it's cheap and it's larger than it needs to be for this size saw. The only thing you have to do, and if this doesn't show up on camera, I'll get a close-up for you, but the only thing you have to do is down here, you can see the factory hole that's drilled in the handle for the like 044s and 440s and stuff. You just have to drill one hole right next to that existing hole for this 026 and 260 platform. Which is nothing. I mean, it's like 1/4 of an inch away. You just drill a new hole and that's it. Other than that, everything bolts up exactly like it was made for the saw. So I'll put a link in the description for that, and as well as the bigger dogs we put on there. And that's how I set these up. So anyways, hopefully that clears up some of the questions people have, and it's actually pretty much, other than that one hole, just a straightforward swap. So pretty cheap and easy.